they have a tendency to get danked around a little bit. So if that's the case, then you need to have another one ready. So we got to go ahead and try to develop it too.
I would understand that point. I know you're not opposed to running two quarterbacks in a
Well,
game.
we don't necessarily want to run two quarterbacks. We just want to make sure that if we have any kind of issue with our one, that we don't have to put a two in that's never, playing it down. So we got to figure out how to get this guy some actual live college football snaps somehow or another.
Defensively, I mean, are we going to expect the same type of quality line we've seen? I mean, it's got a lot of guys back on that side of the ball.
That's the place where, when you think about what we have returning, it brings kind of a smile to your face. And the best part about it is we got Darius Leonard back going full speed because he was out for the spring, and that was a big concern of ours. But at the same time, he's back, Hargrave's back, Antonio Hamilton's back, Chris Paul is back. We got a lot of guys back on that defensive side of the ball, and I'm excited about the Reggie Owens and once we get to Greg Newell and those guys going again, so we've got a nice group of kids in there that I think can really be special on defense, and hopefully we'll continue to develop some depth that way, because that's probably going to be the most important deal with our defensive side of the ball, is how many people we can actually get ready to play in a week's preparation, because it's tough to play 11 guys a full game, and you got all kind of personnel groups and that kind of stuff. So we do need to develop some people that way, and I think we got some good young ones coming along.
You think that gives you an advantage going into this season? I mean, you look at that defensive line. I mean, does it make you feel, you look at the schedule, you can win any game because you can win that battle in the trenches?
Well, I think it gives you a shot that way. Anytime you can stop folk, then you got a chance to win a football game. And it's offense for show, defense for dope. But at the same time, you got to be able to, in this day's time, carry yourself on offense some, because of the fact that if you don't, eventually it'll break your defense down. And it may not be this game, but it'll happen over the course of a whole season. So we better make sure that we can play both sides of the ball pretty well. And special teams wise, you got to play really well too. So everything's in play. Everything's got to be strong. And let's hope that as we get along in this first early part of our season, that we'll see that most of our stuff's in good shape.
Coach, you mentioned earlier, about all the talent and how excited you are going into this year. 14 years now. I mean, can you describe, your feelings going into another year with SC State?
Yeah. Well, I'm probably 10 years past what I should have been. I'm still here. I can't believe it. Sometimes I look around and say, there's no way that I've been here 14 years. But, it's here, and it's been fun. I can tell you that it's been one of the more enjoyable experiences that I'll ever, have a chance to be a part of. So I've been happy. And, I've worked with a lot of great people here. I've had a lot of fun, with our staff here. Everybody from the Bill Hamiltons to heck, I've been friends with all the presidents we had. We had a lot of them here, that kind of stuff. So, it's been a joy, and let's hope that we can do something to make it really special, because it's a critical time in our university's history. And nothing would be better than for us to get off to a great start and kind of set the tone for the year, in a way that I think can be a positive reflection on our university.
You mentioned, that, and I guess, we'd be fooling ourselves if we didn't ask you, how excited are you that the Bulldogs are in fact having a football team this year, with everything that's going on?
Extremely excited. There was a point there where we didn't know, and it was really critical that we got some things done to have ourselves to this point. So the fact that we're here, is really exciting. I mean, not necessarily good or bad or just plain old here. So let's be happy within that whole deal. And I kind of knew, in the back of my mind, it was always, a positive thought of us somehow or another fighting our way through it. But at the same time, you don't know. All of this was the first time in history kind of stuff, and you didn't have any kind of background to reflect on as how this possibly would work. So the tendency was, well, there was no tendency. So we all figuring things out as we go. I'm happy that we're here today.
How about just to mention how much you're going to depend on the defense and the experience on that side. But for game one, without Scoot and some other guys, I mean, how much are you looking to see what the offense can do with LA leading the way? And
it'll be big, but now let me tell you, we got running backs now. Justin Taylor and Dondre Lewis-Freeman, you know, both real good players. You know, it might be, you know, somebody else that might come in here and play good for us that might maybe carry the game for us. So, you know, I think we'll be fine there. I'm more concerned with those defensive line guys because it's so hard to play defense in the hot. And, you know, the fact that the weather conditions are going to be really a test to our conditioning, that kind of stuff. We really needed everybody that we could find to put out there in that defensive front, and so that concerns you.
with the scrimmages you had them at 3:30, 1 o'clock, I mean, you had them
Well,
days, so.
yeah, Chris, that's good, but you know, it never was quite as hot as I wanted it to be at
Right.
3 o'clock. We put those games, we put those scrimmages in those time slots, just trying to get, you know, a good acclimation to what it would be, you know, in that actual game atmosphere. And we hadn't really had a hot day. I've been watching the weather already. The high that day in Orlando is supposed to be in the 89 range, somewhere in that neck of the woods. And you know, we hadn't really had a day that hot. Most of the days we had were in the mid-80s, but at the same time, it is what it is. You know, we got to go out and do what we got to do.
Coach, just a final thought from me.
Mm-hmm.
Do you sleep the sleep patterns differently opening week? I'm wondering, do you get to sleep at all?
Well, I had slept in 20 years. I mean, even when I was at Carolina, you can imagine how much sleep I got there. And since I've been here, being in charge is not a good deal for sleep. So you can bet that I don't sleep all that much. I go to bed in the 10 o'clock range, and I'm up at 3, 4 every morning, and I'm messing around trying to find something to do till it's time to come to work. So it was an easy decision for me to move our practices to the morning because I was up anyway, and that just gave us more day to use that way. So no, I don't sleep all that good, but it didn't happen just because of the season. I didn't sleep good before.